Fear struck into humans from the beginning of time. Fear is a natural human emotion that is often triggered by the perception of danger or threat. It can manifest in a variety of ways, including physical symptoms such as sweating and increased heart rate, as well as psychological symptoms such as anxiety and panic. Some people shut up completely and cannot move, full of fear. Fear can be helpful, though, in keeping us safe from harm. But it can also hold us back from reaching our full potential. To overcome fear, it's important to first acknowledge and accept it, rather than trying to ignore or suppress it. Once we understand the source of our fear, we can begin to take steps to face it and move past it. Here are 2 stories about fear, and these stories can help you to overcome your fears in life. There is an ancient story about a young warrior who was filled with fear at the thought of going into battle. Despite all the training and preparation he had undergone, he was still consumed with anxiety and doubt. One day he sought the counsel of his wise old teacher, who listened to his fears and then offered him a simple solution. The teacher told the warrior to take a small bag of salt and to sprinkle it along the path he would take to battle. The young warrior was puzzled, but followed his teacher's instructions nonetheless. As he walked along the path, he noticed that the salt had been blown away by the wind, leaving him with an unobstructed path. The teacher then explained the meaning of the lesson. The salt represented fear, and the path represented the warrior's journey. Just as the wind had blown away the salt, the warrior could overcome his fear by taking action and facing his fears head-on. The young warrior realized that fear was just an obstacle that could be overcome. And with this newfound perspective, he went on to fight bravely in battle. From that day forward, he never forgot the lesson he had learned and used it to overcome his fears in every aspect of his life. You see, I'm not saying that you should go into battle, but you should treat your everyday life like going into battle. Every day you wake up and you want to accomplish your goals. If there is something that you fear along your way, along your day, then just face your fears head on. It is a crazy roller coaster, but you will get through your fear. And you will realize that it was just in your mind. And every time you overcome fear, it will make you stronger and stronger and more courageous. Now here's another story that is about fear, about overcoming fear. Once upon a time there was a king who was terrified of death. No matter how much wealth and power he possessed, he could not shake the fear that one day he would die. One day he sought the advice of a wise sage who lived in a nearby village. The sage listened to the king's fears and then gave him a task: to find a single person who had never experienced fear. The king was amazed by the sage's request, but set out on a quest to find such a person. He searched far and wide, but was unable to find anyone who had never felt fear. Feeling defeated, the king returned to the sage and confessed that he had failed in his task. The sage then told the king that he had taught him a valuable lesson, that fear is a natural part of the human experience, and that there is not one man on this earth who has never experienced fear. The king realized that he had been wasting his life by allowing fear to control him. He learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the ability to face fear and move forward despite it. From that day forward, the king no longer allowed fear to control him. He lived his life with courage and bravery, knowing that he could face any challenge that came his way. You see, in life, in your life, fear is a natural part of your human experience. And most importantly, courage is not the absence of fear, but rather the ability to face fear and move forward despite it. Instead of allowing fear to control our lives, we should learn to acknowledge and confront our fears and use them as a motivation to grow and overcome challenges. You have the power to overcome your fear, and by doing so, you will live a more fulfilling and courageous life. You can do it, and know that you are strong. You just don't know it yet. This is Dare to Do Motivation, stories